information is stored on OneBlox by means of network shares and exports. Shares are created using Server Message Block, or SMB, for Windows and Mac systems. Exports are created using the Network File System, or NFS, for Linux and Mac systems. In this demonstration, you'll learn how to use OneSystem to create shares and exports for both Active Directory and workgroup environments, use OneSystem to create groups and users. These will be used to grant access for SMB workgroup shares and exports, and access shares in both Active Directory and Windows workgroup environments. By default, each OneBlox is configured with an SMB share named public. With no username or password required, anyone on the local area network can access this share. No pairing to OneSystem is required. However, access permissions to this share can be changed if required. When multiple OneBlox appliances are paired with a OneSystem ring or cluster, all of the public shares for that ring are combined into a single share. The public share is accessible using this network path. To map a drive to the public share, you must know the name of the OneBlox or the ring. One method of finding the name of the OneBlox or a ring, especially if OneBlox has not been paired with OneSystem, is through the OneBlox web console. Use a web browser to access the console using the IP address assigned to the OneBlox appliance. Note, the name of a ring can also be obtained from OneSystem or by navigating your environment and discovering the OneBlox through network discovery. Access the OneBlox web console. The OneBlox or ring name is displayed here. Although it's recommended that you map a network drive to your shares, for demonstration purposes, we will access the OneBlox public share using File Explorer. OneBlox shares are accessed using the OneBlox or ring name. All shares are shown here. With the public folder open, files can now be moved to and from the folder. Manage file and folder permissions using normal Windows methods. Now use OneSystem to create additional shares. Log in to OneSystem. Note, in most environments, it's recommended that you use a two-step verification process when logging in. For the purpose of this demonstration, 2 rings have been created. The Sales Exablocks ring has been configured to use Active Directory, while the MKTG ring has been configured to use Windows Workgroup. Click Shares and Exports. The existing shares are shown. Notice that since 2 rings are being used, each has its own public share. To create a new SMB or NFS share, click Add. Name the new share. Add a description if desired. Select a ring. Note, if the ring was selected prior to choosing shares or exports, it will be selected automatically. The Access Protocol options let you create SMB shares or NFS exports. Note, the remaining options change when NFS is selected. Return to the SMB share. Notice that through Share Properties, Mac systems can use SMB shares. Since we are using Active Directory for this ring, permissions to the share are managed by the Windows operating system. However, admin users can be selected from this interface. Several storage policies are available, letting you optimize the way files are stored based on the type of data being managed. Move your mouse over Read More to learn the differences between the various policies. The Custom option lets you configure retention, compression, and deduplication according to your own needs. Mouse over Read More for additional information. Save the new share. Shares and exports can be edited or deleted using the Actions drop-down. The new share is shown here. When dealing with a large number of shares and exports, there are several methods of locating the desired share or export. For example, typing MKTG in the search field shows only rings or shares named MKTG. Filters can also be used to locate the desired shares. For example, removing the checkmark from NFS would only show SMB-based shares. We'll now create a workgroup share. Use the drop-down list to select the MKTG ring. Click Shares and Exports. Click Add to create a new SMB or NFS share. Notice that in this instance, the host ring of MKTG was automatically chosen because the MKTG ring was selected prior to selecting shares and exports. Enter a new share name and description. When a ring is configured for workgroups, access to the share is gained by means of users created within OneSystem. These users are referred to as registered users. Shared access lets you configure if everyone, registered or not, or a limited number of users will have access to the share. Expand the drop-down list. Select the user to add to the share. Notice that a group of users could be selected as well. Expand the permission drop-down. Click Read Write. As currently configured, only the user named Oxum Pascal will be able to access and use this share. Note, users must be created prior to adding them to a share. Information on how to create users is given later in this demonstration. Select Save. Click Back to List to continue. The new share is shown here. Note, the share name Docs is not shown because you selected the MKTG ring prior to accessing the Shares and Exports feature. When a ring is configured to use Windows Workgroup, you'll need to create OneSystem users to access the shares and exports created on that ring. We will now create a OneSystem group and a user. First, we'll create a new group. Note, groups can be created while creating new users if desired. Click Add Group. Enter a name for the group. Expand the Group Members drop-down. Select the user to add to the group, and click Save. With the new group created, we'll demonstrate how to create a new user. Click Add User. Enter the user's name. Enter the email address. Adjust the role as necessary. Move over the question mark for more information. By default, new users are added to the Users group. However, we will now add Kaya to the new Sales group. Select the group to which you want to add the user. Your user has now been added to the group, but you need to save the changes. New users are listed as pending until they have received and acknowledged the email sent by Exablox. Once a user has acknowledged the Exablox email, their status will change to active. Now let's look at how to access a OneSystem Windows Workgroup share. Access the ring. The username required to access a OneSystem share on a Windows Workgroup ring is derived from the first portion of the email account registered with OneSystem. For example, if your OneSystem account is a.pascal@mailinator.com, your login username is a.pascal. Enter the username and password. Click OK. Access to the share is granted. This concludes this demonstration. Thank you very much for watching.